Okay. You think that your business has great products, a solid website, and decent traffic. Well, why are your competitors still kicking your butt? Today on Straight Talk Commerce podcast, we're digging into the hidden reasons that your competitor is still dominating in the digital space and how you can catch up and even pull ahead. You're going to be able to fight back after today. I am Wayne Altman. This is Straight Talk Commerce Podcast. We begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Hey, I break it down with the sharpest lines. Money, moves, mindset, grind. You ready to win? Then tune in live. Big
not a big
names,
fan of
big
subscription
games.
models.
All the lessons they bring from Jelly Belly to AA Kings. From the startup grind to the top tier pros. We crack the code, now here we go. Straight talk, commerce, getting to know with Wayne Altman. Let's start the show.
Welcome back, everybody. The idea for this podcast came to me last week when I happened to see a post on Reddit. I don't spend a whole lot of time on Reddit. I've been kicked off that platform so many times, it's not even funny. But this in particular, doing the research for podcast ideas, this question came up and it really hit home. What am I doing wrong, and why is my competition beating me? And as I read through the answers that these people it's Reddit. God knows where they came from. The people that answered that came from. I started thinking to myself, wow, it could be a number of things, and it's far too much to put in a post that anyone is going to read, but they just might listen to a podcast that breaks it down for them. And so that's what we're going to do today. And the number one thing that I would say to somebody is maybe your strategy isn't differentiated enough from your competitors. You're playing it safe. Your brand voice, your visuals, and your positioning are all blending in with everybody else. I see that a lot. A lot of clothing brands. I mean, you look around and you go, what is different than one clothing brand to another? It's a sweatshirt. It's a crew neck. It's a t-shirt. What are they doing to differentiate themselves from anybody else? And that is a big, huge problem. Consumers will ignore brands that do not evoke emotion or stand out in any way. And in a saturated digital space, safe equals invisible. And let me give you a case study about this. Death Wish Coffee. Instead of playing in the generic coffee space, there are dozens of brands, hundreds of brands of coffee. They leaned hard into the world's strongest coffee identity. And they have very bold tones, edgy branding, and that differentiation exploded their sales and have earned them a Super Bowl ad through a contest. They actually won a Super Bowl ad through that contest. So in order to fix this problem, do a competitor analysis. We do that every quarter, you guys. You are constantly analyzing your competitors and trying to find out what they do well, what they're lacking. You need to find out why you are beating them. You need to find out why they are beating you. And what makes your competitors feel different? What makes your customers feel different with you as opposed to if they bought that product from one of your competitors? It's very important that you do this on a regular basis. You can fall into trends that will lull you into creating the same ads as everybody else. If you don't have a brand voice, if you don't have a brand mission, you are going to fade into obscurity. Trust me, your biggest weapon is your identity, is your customers being able to identify with somebody. And if they can't do that, if there's nothing for them to latch on to, bye-bye. There's no other reason for them to buy from you. Maybe price, and we want to stay away from that at all costs. Get it? Ask your audience what comes to mind when you see our brand. It's okay to ask these questions. You're dating someone, you want to get an idea of how they feel about you before you go wasting a whole lot of time, money, and effort. You would never marry someone or ask them to marry you if you didn't know how they felt about you, I would hope. And develop a clear USP that is risky, bold, or emotional. Do not be afraid to take a risk here. Be bold in this. Be identifiable. Make it. People love to be on a team, and this is a team sport. Business is a team sport, and you need to get in there with both hands, and you need to claim what is yours, like we do at Straight Talk Commerce. People that want to succeed in business, they come here, they want to listen, they want to take notes. I see the same people talking to us every single week, and those are the ones that are reporting to me that things are a whole lot better. So do that. Fix that issue. Number two, this should be pretty obvious. If you're going to go to the trouble of finding this information out, you're going to do the customer identification, all of that. If you're going to go to that trouble, do number two, leverage the data that you collect and leverage the data that you've been ignoring. In other words, do something about. You identified the problem, now do something about it. Your competitors are using micro data to make macro decisions. They track behavior, they refine copy, they tweak their funnels, they personalize more precisely. They've identified their customer, narrowed down that aperture that we talk about all the time, and they laser focus, pick off customers left, right, and center. What measures gets optimized. Your guesswork is their data-driven growth. And you need to flip that around. Knock them on their heels a little bit. Be laser focused. Know who your audience is, who your customer is. If you don't like that you're getting more returns than normal, well, guess what? Identify those customers, what makes them return things, and move away from that type of customer. It works. It really works. Let me give you another case study about this. Allbirds. Allbirds optimize their checkout process after using Hotjar. We recommend Hotjar. It's a great company. They have a heat map to spot friction points, and it led to a 15% increase in conversions. Now, how many of you, raise your hand, how many of you would like 15% more conversions? For some of you, that would still be zero. But if you are selling, 15% more conversions is a true number. It's a good number. They also use post-purchase surveys to refine their messaging and upsells based on customer intention. So if they had a camping customer or a clothing customer that was buying for a specific event, they knew about it, and they would upsell them based upon that. Use your tools like Hotjar, Google Optimize, and post-purchase surveys. It's fine to ask people why they purchased what they just bought. Go beyond demographics here. Track their behavior, track their intent, track their exit points on your website. Find out why they bought what they purchased, and set up behavioral segmentation and test variations weekly. A/B testing, you guys. You got to continue to figure out why people do what they do. And with A/B testing, it's very easy to narrow down intent, why people did what they did. Now, that leads us to mastering your funnel. They've mastered the funnel, but you're stuck in the traffic. You get a lot of traffic, but nothing is pouring through your funnel. We got to stop that. We got to nip it in the bud. You focus on clicks, fine. They focus on LTV, lifetime value. Your traffic dies at checkout. Theirs gets nurtured into high spending repeat customers. And that does not mean when those people get stuck in your checkout, you drop in your price 40% just to get them to purchase something from you at a drastic discount. That's not what we're doing here. You do not want to train your customers to buy from you only when you discount products. Without a strong email flow, retargeting, and loyalty drivers, your growth is leaking customers, and you want to plug those holes like fingers in a dam. Glossier, they turn one-time customers into super fans with personalized email flows that told stories. They offered community invites to things and rewarded loyalty from their loyal customers. They attribute nearly 30% of their returning customers' revenue to those post-purchase touch points. Someone buys something from you, that cannot be the end. And you want to personalize your email to those people. This cannot, should not, will not be AI driven until it gets way, way, way better than it is right now. You need to put someone on this. If it's you, and thank people for shopping at your store. No one leaves without you thanking them. Build an abandoned cart, win back, and post-purchase email flow. Segment your email list by interest and what stage that customer is in. This requires a lot of organization. And if you don't have it in place now, there's your answer right there. It's very easy to identify. This is why you're not selling more. Install a loyalty, a reward program to increase retention. Here's where discounts come in. Someone has purchased from you. You want to reward them and draw them back to you to purchase again. Now you can offer them a discount because they're a customer now. You do not just go out and plaster 50% off, 30% off on your website. That's incredibly insane to do. Number 4, they are outsmarting you with better content and social proof. Your competitor isn't just posting content. You are, but they're not. They're not just posting content. They're creating persuasion engines. Let me tell you what I mean by that. They use user-generated content, influencer videos, and third-party reviews and the press to build trust with other audiences. And here's why that matters. Trust converts. Great content is not just pretty, it's proof that the product works or is good or is delicious. And if you use AI, you need to use it correctly here. Because next week, we're going to have an entire episode devoted to the proper use of artificial intelligence in this with social proof and that kind of stuff. Because I see a lot horrific that people are killing their business right now, and I got to get it to stop. It is keeping me up at night. My whole point is you need to be your social posts need to be asking for the sale. Don't just post a pretty girl or a beautiful sunset. You need to be asking for business in those social posts, giving people a reason to do business with you with every single post, and remind them that you're socially conscious or that your brand means something. It needs to reinforce all of those mission statements that you have been putting forward. Fashion Nova exploded by leaning into their constant influencer-generated content. Thousands of micro-influencers built a solid web of social proof, and it flooded Instagram with product use, leading to explosive organic sales. Now listen, this is how influencer marketing works. Not purchasing a 10,000 or 100,000 or $1 million influencer to get their word out to half of their followers. No. You can partner with many micro influencers and get the job done far, far better because you have to work from a more organic and personal level. It's very easy to slap something on a influencer with 1 million or 4 million or 10 million subscribers, but how many of those people actually do what that person does? They want to be informed of what the last post was, but they don't necessarily follow what that individual has told them to do. But a micro influencer having a small audience but mighty, now there's where you can pick it up, and you can pick up customers across the board doing that. You can collect and publish real customer reviews, and unboxing videos and user generated content that way. You can incentivize social sharing with affiliate or referral programs, which you should be doing anyway. Anyone that refers business to me, I always throw something back to them. Always. It's just a smart business move. It reaffirms, you reward, you incentivize what you want more of. I've said it a million times. Incentivize what you want more of. That goes for raising children, that goes for your spouse, that goes for your boss at work or the work that you do, that goes for your business. Embed testimonials at key conversation points, homepage, your product pages, and your checkout. You really got to pick up on this because it's going to, in the long run, pay huge, massive dividends in growth year over year, month after month. Number 5, they're playing long term. You are playing catch up. Here's what's happening. While you chase the next quick hit on TikTok, your TikTok ad, your Facebook ad, your new funnel that you just set up, they're building SEO moats. They're building brand equity, and they're building a community. And you need to be doing that too. Drop it for a minute and get back on that. And here's why that matters. Long-term assets, content, loyalty, organic reach, they create compounding advantages. And if you're confused by any of the things that I just said, you need to get back into social media books and figure out exactly what I'm talking about, because I've told you 100 times, your only advantage in this, you don't have manufacturing advantage. You don't have logistical advantage. What you have is social media advantage over these large companies. And you need to be leveraging that every single opportunity that you have. HubSpot. HubSpot use content marketing. They use their blog and free tools and ebooks to build a massive SEO footprint. And while their competitors spent money on ads, HubSpot created a content engine that drove millions and still does drive millions in organic leads month after month after month after month. It just overwhelmed the system. You can do the same exact thing. Look, you don't have to give away physical products. Digital products are just as valuable to people as physical products. So rather than, maybe you do a buy one or buy 10, get one free. That's fine. But you can also do a digital product that people are actually going to want. It's not hard to figure out how to do that. One of the things that AI is super good at is being able to give you these kind of ideas. So check it out. You need to start doing that. Launch a podcast or a YouTube channel for your niche especially. Start a weekly blog. It still does a great job in this. Start a weekly blog that answers those high intent search queries, questions that people ask you. Start a blog and start identifying and mention the customers that asked you the question originally. People love to see themselves and really feel part of the community when you do things like that. Also, create a Facebook group or a Discord channel or Quora, any place that's social media. Start a new party with You're the Host, and your community will grow exponentially every time that you do that. When you do that, TikTok is a great place. I'm still a little bit leery about TikTok until we get a deal that we don't have to kick TikTok out of the country. But right now, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to give you in the description a checklist, And in that checklist, it is going to give you things to do, a mission statement, and things to do for each of the things that we talked about. It's going to ask, does your brand have a unique point of view or tone? If it doesn't yet, you need to get one. Figure it out. Are you collecting and analyzing behavioral data? If you are listening to this podcast and you've listened to, a couple other episodes, you need to get on that immediately. You cannot train what you can't track. You will not know where you are going unless you know where you are. So analyzing both your and your customer, your competitors' data is paramount if you want to succeed. And that leads you to tracking your customers, finding out who they are, where they're from, what their pain is. All of those things need to be tracked. Is your funnel, is it optimized for nurturing and repeat sales? Are you constantly going back to people and asking them, did you get what you needed? Can I have a review? Is there something else we can help you with? Is your content, is it persuasive or is it just pretty? Because if you're just putting out beautiful content, yeah, it's going to attract eyeballs, but no sales. Why waste the effort? Why waste the time on putting out beautiful content that it isn't motivating people to do what you've asked them to do? And are you investing in long-term brand building assets? Or are you spinning your wheels, running around like a chicken in the yard, no idea what to do next? These are things that you need to take a very close, hard look at your business and find out. Because trust me when I tell you, when all of these things are firing on all cylinders, you know it. Your customers know it, and it's a very, very good feeling. If you do only one thing this week, run a competitor analysis. Do it in depth. Look at their funnel. Look at their emails. Look for their social proof. Find out what their SEO footprint is. And then ask yourself, where are they winning and we're not even playing? Very important question. If your competition is outperforming you online, not by accident, it's their strategy. Take what you've learned today and start stacking the odds back in your favor. You don't need to copy your competitors. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you, don't do that. You need to outthink them. Now you've got the blueprint. Go make your next move. Thank you for tuning into Straight Talk Commerce. If today gave you just one idea to try, leave a comment down below, like this episode, and share it with your friends and family. And I will see you next week. Kick some butt.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Hey, I break it down with the sharpest minds. Money moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games. All the lessons they bring, from Jelly Belly to AA Kings. From the startup grind to the top tier pros, we crack the code. Now